The head is still here on my desk. Everything in there is pretty much the same. I haven't really worked on it. The face has some of the clay on it already. The paper clay, it's already pretty hard. The backing I haven't worked on at all. The only thing I've actually done is this little boombox looking kind of thing that I'm gonna try to make or paint and see if it actually fits into the whole scheme of things. And there's a knife in here somewhere that I made. I made a knife somewhere. It's somewhere in here, but it's a little paper mache clay knife, so don't worry about it. Anyway, that's what we're gonna be working on this video. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I hope you guys enjoy this content. While we were away, the channel hit 300 subscribers, and I would like to say thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. You guys are fucking amazing, and everybody else has been sharing and liking their content. You guys are fucking great. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be working on is this back part of the head. I'm going to have to be really careful with these thunderbolts as I put the clay on it, because as you can see, some of these are very fragile, and I'm pretty sure if I put any weight on them, they might snap. So I'm going to have to do these very carefully. At the same time, I have to be very careful how I do these, because they're going to be weighted down with the clay. So as I drop the clay on this and the paper gets wet, it's going to start buckling either in or out. And I was thinking that maybe I could use that to my advantage and make some of these actually come out and some of them go in. So it gives it some more, I guess you would say, depth or layers. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. To skip this little one right here because, as I mentioned, it's broken, so I'm gonna let half of it dry, and once that cures, I'm gonna add the rest. I'm gonna try my hardest to leave a gap in between these two thunderbolts, but it's gonna be very hard as I work in between them. We'll work on the tip here a little bit. Now I'm gonna try to get this as pointy as possible, but you know, I'm gonna end up getting the finest point when I use the Dremel tool later on. So here is mostly done, except for this little broken thunderbolt here. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry and then work on it some other time. And now all I have to do is just fill in the back of the head. So all I have to do now is just let it dry, and every once in a while just check how they're doing and push the ones that want to go in, and the ones that want to go out. And next I'm going to be working on the head. I'm just going to keep adding the first layer of clay. And then after that, I'm going to go and work on the ears and maybe a little detail here and there.
6.5 hours later.
After some time, it went ahead and hardened up, and this part right here doesn't move as much anymore. And I was able to get the thunderbolts to kind of lap each other a little bit. As you could tell, this one's higher than this one. This is that one thunderbolt that was kind of loose. It's still kind of loose now because I would just wet it down. But once it hardens up, it should be pretty stiff. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry and move on to this little part right here. I made this out of headphones and cardboard. It looks like in the back. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint it. I don't know if I'm gonna add some of the paper to give it a different texture, some of this texture instead of keeping this texture over here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that and let that dry overnight, and then maybe start painting that tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back here and let that dry for tonight. So I was about to start on the head, and then I saw my kids' Minute Maid drink out because they were drinking one earlier, and they left it out. And when I went to go pick it up, I pulled a straw and it hit me. Maybe I could use these as some sort of pipes.
1 hour later.
So I definitely got sidetracked for about an hour or two. I ended up adding these 2 straws like I said I would. I painted them blue and red. I also added some brown to add some kind of like rust to make them look older. I think it helps that area look better because it was just an empty wall there, and now it just looks like, you know, there's some pipes leading to the back generators or something. So I'm gonna touch up this little area right here. It has like some dry glue, some of the cracks, and then down here is where it used to, the light used to be. I'm gonna maybe try to paint that like a drain and some blood like it splatters down. This is the inside. I would say 100% done. I'm not doing any more work to this on the inside.
The next day.
So this took me about all morning, but you guys can see the detail I added on there. It looks more like lightning bolts instead of just being flat. Later on with the sander, I'm going to come down and sand it and make it more finer and smoother, and the tips more pointy. We'll go ahead and let this dry.
Later.
So not only has the back of the head already dried and the inside of the back of the head already dried, but I also worked on the hair for a whole night. I modeled it after the hair that is on the styrofoam. I don't know if you kind of see the resemblance there a little bit. I'm sorry that I didn't get any of this on film and you guys didn't get to see me work on the hair. Dea had the camera that night and she was working on something for her channel. I'll link to it somewhere, one of these 2 corners. And here you can see the detail that I'm trying to get. This is more of a lightning bolt shape. This is still kind of like like bubbly and everything. And this is where I'm trying to get to. Like, it looks more like a thunderbolt, right? Okay guys, well, I've been working without filming again. And this is half of Frankenstein's face done and ear. I'm gonna take a break right now because if I keep working on it, I'm gonna end up messing this side up while I work on this side. So I'm gonna let this dry and then hop back onto this one. Hi everybody. Look at my beautiful girl. Hey, cutie. And Iris back there. Cutie. Oh, this is the detail I got on it. I'm gonna let it dry. Work on this side over here. Let that dry. Sand it down a bit. See what it needs to look like. Maybe fix the eyes because he's kind of looking kind of weird right now. But that's how it started, and this is how it's going. I think it's looking like a little bit like Rocky, no? Adrian!
More prettier.
This one's more prettier?
Yeah.
Oh.